Coach, why don't you just get us started with an opening statement?
All right, obviously, another tough loss, another game that's played come down to a couple plays in the fourth quarter. Really, obviously, like the first half, the positive for the game was the first half. Came out, the only negative first half is we threw a couple interceptions that shouldn't happen, but defense plays really strong, which we anticipated them doing, and really kept Kent State in check, did a good job on the couple sudden changes. And then offensively ran the ball, moved the ball through the air enough, and got a 7-3 lead, and then got a really key stop before the half and put together a really nice drive in the last minute, and execute in the red zone and go up 14-3. And again, feeling about as good as you can feel at halftime. Defense playing extremely well, offense playing and moving the ball effectively against a tough defense, and then special teams really solid in the first half. And you got 14-3. You're going to have the win in the third quarter. You kick the ball off to them. You get the touchback. And then, again, this is our lack of mental toughness throughout the game. It's not that we're never mentally tough, but our inconsistency mentally, the third quarter drive on defense, there's just a bunch of mental errors that keeps the drive alive, and they kind of plod down the field, and they take up half the third quarter, and it's 14-10. All right, then you go right to kickoff return. Another mental error on kickoff return. We have a useless block in the back for no reasons. We should have the ball on the 27-yard line. We got the ball on our 5-yard line. We put together a decent drive. We move the ball out from our 5 all the way out to midfield. We get stalled. We punt. We flip the field. You still feel pretty good. Your 2 possessions in the second half, you're up 14-10. Your defense has played good other than one drive. And you got them with the ball on the 16-yard line with a long way to go. They throw a little bootleg pass. They complete a ball in the flat. The play's designed to get 10 yards. And the back end of our defense, and we saw it against Bowling Green, we saw it against Notre Dame, the back end of our defense, when the ball creases the front 7, this was just a pass play, a short pass play. We got to be able to pursue, take great angles, corral the football, and get people on the ground. The play's designed to get 10, 12 yards, and they get 86 or 84 yards on a stupid little bootleg play. That one, you could defend it right off the bat. We don't defend it well. Then we got to get the guy on the ground. And next thing you know, there's 1 minute to go in the third quarter. We've had one possession in the third quarter, and somebody asked me, and I wasn't even really thinking when I got asked after the game, offense really got bogged down in the third quarter. And I was like, yeah. And then I looked at the game like we had one possession in the third quarter. We had the ball one time. We went on a 6-minute drive, and we punted the ball down to the 16, which in a game like that you'll take. So now we're 17-14. We get the ball, we move to midfield, we punt. We get a stop. We get the ball, we put together a nice drive, we get the ball to the 8-yard line. Okay, you're on the road against Kent State. We talked about being a low-scoring tight game. You got first and goal at the 8. We got Murph open on 1 play. We got James open on 2 plays. We don't execute on offense. We're not mentally tough enough to finish the deal. Then we miss a chip shot field goal. Instead of having a lead or being tied on the road, now you're still down 17-14. We get another drive. We got Kenny Young open on a post. We don't do a good job in protection. We throw a screen pass. We drop a screen pass. That's going to put us easily in field goal position or more. So for us, it's about mental toughness, and it's mental toughness every play. We've put ourselves, besides throughout the Notre Dame game, okay, we've had 6 other games this year, and they've all come down to executing on both sides of the ball in ST down the stretch, and we have not been able to make the play on offense. We have not been able to make the play on defense. And then Saturday we pitched in by first time we had a chance to make a play ST, and we don't make the play on ST. So in kids that are making plays in other situations, so we got to be mentally tough, or we got to focus on that all week in practice. We got to focus on that all week in meetings. We got to understand that when the game's on the line, we have to play our best football, and we're missing opportunities to win games, all right? And we talked about it from day one. We're going to be in a position to win every game. We're going to be in a position to lose every game, which has been accurate other than Notre Dame. And that's how the season's gone. But we've won 2 and we've lost 4. All right, and we've got to figure out a way right now to finish a game, because we're going to be in close games. And if you can't make plays down the stretch, you're not going to win games. So it starts with me and the focus, and we're looking at what we're doing in practice. We're looking at the situations. We're looking at how we meet. We're looking at how we talk to our kids. We're looking at everything we do from A to Z, because we know what the issue is, and we're not far away from winning games, but it's becoming a broken record, and it's become a very irritating broken record, and that's something that we want to keep talking about. We want to talk about how we made the plays down the stretch to win a game, and the games are there for the taking, and our lack of execution because we're not mentally tough enough to follow through and do the things that you're being coached in critical situations is the issue. And again, we talked a long time yesterday, and I think kids self-admittedly at times, even yesterday said, hey, we felt at halftime we had them. Well, you didn't have them. Same way you felt with 3 minutes ago against Cincinnati, same way you felt in other games. Like, you have to keep your foot on the gas, and we haven't done a good job of understanding and having a blue-collar grinding mentality. And we had it a year ago, and we didn't care about aesthetics, and we didn't care about what it looked like. We just cared about keep playing. And again, it's not gone. You watch the first half. We came out with a steely-eyed focus and a grind mentality, and we played a very efficient first half. But then we played a crazy inefficient third quarter defensively and put us behind going in the fourth quarter. And then when you put together a nice drive and you get first goal, hey, you got to finish. You got to finish the deal and make plays when it counts down the stretch. And if not, you got to kick a field goal and still be in position where if you make the field goal, the pressure's really on them because they got to try to move the ball the length of the field against you. If not, you're going to get the ball right back with a chance to win. So, and then we had plays even after that. Like I said, we got a post route we don't protect well enough. We got a screen pass that we're rolling. We're going to catch it on the 40. We're going to get inside their 25 easily. There's nobody there, and we drop a screen pass. And again, those plays you got to make. If you want to win the game, you look at those plays like, okay, well, what do you got to do? We got to catch a screen pass. That's what we got to do. You got to catch a screen pass. What do you got to do? We got to protect. What do you got to do? We got to hit a guy open in the red zone. We have guys open, and we got to hit them. We got to make sure we know the coverage and hit them. We got to make a 25-yard field goal. We can't give up an 86-yard bootleg. All right, and those are all very correctable things, but we got to get them corrected. So that's a focus for this week.
With the inability and lack of mental toughness, how much of the responsibility do you take as head coach of creating a culture with that mental toughness?
You take responsibility for everything in your program as a head coach. Doesn't matter when it comes to execution, to mental toughness, to play calling, to conditioning. Like, you're in charge from A to Z, and that's how we start all meetings. Everybody knows me. I'm very accountable to what happens. We're very, very frustrated. We're very irritated. It's beyond disappointing that we haven't won more games. We've put ourselves in position, and it's more disappointing for me because it's not. There's sometimes, like, I can turn the clock back a couple years and we just weren't mentally tough, and there was no changing it. To go play, come back, you lose a gut-wrenching loss of BG, you have a great week of preparation, you come out and you play the game the way it's supposed to be played for 30 minutes. So we have it in us. And we had great preparation. BG, tough loss, obviously tough loss. You have a 99-yard fumble return in the last minute. It's gut-wrenching. And we've been through a lot. And you have a great week. And you show up on the road in an environment where it's not too exciting to play. And you come out and you play great football, mentally tough. So it's in our kids, and it's coming out in spurts, but now you got to go finish the deal. And then if you look in our league, there's going to be close games. You got to make plays down the stretch. There's no doubt about that. You got to make plays down the stretch, and everybody's talking about injuries and this and that. We got injuries, but a lot of people have injuries. We got capable players on the field that are capable of making the plays that we don't make. And we have to make them if we want to start winning games. If not, we're going to keep losing gut-wrenching close games. But that's on us. We've got it. And we haven't. Our kids are not. They have the ability to be mentally tough, and they've shown it. We've done a lot of mentally tough things already this year. We got to be consistent for 60 minutes and not take our foot off the gas, and not expect games to be 27-point wins. Because when you look in our league, that's not what the scores look like. But our kids, for some reason, at times think, okay, we're pretty good. We're not pretty good. We got a chance to be a really good MAC team still. We're not a really good MAC team. Right now, we're a 1-2 MAC team. All right, we should have, would have, could have. That's fine. The results say we're 1-2, and we got to consistently push like the game's on the line every snap. And we've done that in long spurts, but we haven't done it in situations. And then when the game's on the line, we got to make plays. Somebody's got to step up and make a play.
How much of getting that focus, that mental toughness back, has to come from the players, leaders?
Yeah, and it's not even getting it back. We have it. We got to do it every snap. We got to come out that first drive in the third quarter and play. It'd be one thing if we went to Ken after a tough loss and we freaking laid an egg. We didn't. We came out with the steely eye. We were prepared. We were locked in. We probably played as good a first half of football player as far as efficiency and execution. We were really locked in. We were not being phased. We didn't get phased when we turned the ball over. There was no, so it's not, it's there. It's unfortunately, unless you're going to be a team, and there's not many in college football that can win by 30 points, the focus has to be there for 60 minutes. That's a mentally tough part. We have focus, and we played the game the right way in long spurts of times. Right? Some games it was 57 minutes. Some games it wasn't. Saturday was 30 minutes, and then we come out and we have a ridiculous drive to start the third quarter because we think we got them. And it's mental errors, and credit to Kent State for excuse, but you watch a drive, we're not in position where we need to be. There's plays that we have chance to get off the field on third down the last 2 weeks. It's been ridiculous. We get to third down, it's like we got to put our foot on the gas and get off the field. We've had so many points that were scored the last 2 weeks after third long. And again, occasionally they're going to get a third and long. It's with regularity. They're getting third downs on us. And the same thing. Then how many times offensively do we get the ball down to where we can produce points? The whole rest of the game, when we get in the red zone, we're efficient. We've been very efficient in the red zone this year, except for a couple of times when the game's on the line that we don't make a play. We got to make a play. 2 weeks in a row, we've had the ball inside the 10 and came away with no points. And if we came away with points both times, we're at least in overtime. We win one game and we're in overtime the other game, if not winning. So it's not we're very close to being where we want to be, but we're very far from being where we want to be. And it's not like it's going to take a drastic measure to get this thing turned back around to winning games. We're right there to win the game. It's and we can keep talking about it's one or two plays. It is one or two. That's every week in college football across the board, unless you're Alabama. It's one or two plays, right? It's Clemson, Syracuse. It's one or two plays. It doesn't matter who plays. And if you don't understand that right now, our kids, to a certain extent, we talked a lot about yesterday, and they admitted some of it was, yeah, we came off this high. We knew we were good. We knew we were in games. And as games are going, sometimes it feels pretty good. Like we know we're doing good things, and we feel like, and then we have that mental lapse. Well, that, like you said, it starts with me. We can't have the mental lapses. And it goes through our coaches and it goes through our players, and we all have to be accountable to it. And that's the solution. It's not. You got to change this. We did plenty of things on offense and defense Saturday that were really good. We did plenty of things on special teams. So until we missed a chip shot field goal, our special teams were fantastic Saturday. But the mental lapse to start the second half changes the whole complexion of the game. And welcome to football.
With 5 losses now and then having to still the goal of winning a MAC championship, how do you keep the pressure off your guys, keep your guys loose and still playing?
No, there's pressure on us now. There's no way to keep it off us. I mean, we have self-induced pressure now. We're not a very happy unit. We're very, I don't even know if disappointed is even the word anymore. It's irritating how the season has gone for everybody involved. It's irritating for our fans. It's irritating for everyone involved in Miami, and they should be irritated. We've had opportunities to win games. We haven't won games. So if that doesn't irritate you, then you got a major issue. So, no, we're 1-2 the league. There's pressure on us. There's no way to keep the pressure off. So and for us, great. I mean, for me, because we got to handle the pressure. That's why we're 1-2 in the league. That's why we're 2-5 or 2-4 in winnable games. All right, we got to make plays under pressure. We got to step up in adverse situations and make plays. And the world out there is not perfect. And we talked a lot about it defensively and offensively, and our kids talked a lot about, like, well, sometimes if it's not what we're prepared for, that's when our mistakes come. I go, guess what? So you're saying when they do what we prepare you to do, you play well, and when they don't do what they prepare you to do, then you spit the bit. Well, welcome to college football. We have really good coaching staff. We're really well prepared on both sides of the ball, and a lot of times, but even during the game, they got to make adjustments, so the other team makes an adjustment because what they're doing is not working, and then you got to be able to handle it. Like, that's called playing football and being a football player. And they ran a little bit different bootleg, and we act like it's just a bootleg. That's all it was. Bootleg. Apply your bootleg rules, get where you need to do, get the guy on the ground. So for us, it's the excuse. Every week there's going to be things, there's going to be coverages, there's going to be things that they do that you're not prepared for. That's just football. There's going to be 90% of what you're prepared for and 10%. And at times we got to be better at the 10% that we're not prepared for, which is their new wrinkle, their new play, their new trick play. And that's being alert, being a football player. And our kids got to understand, our kids got to take accountability in that, just like coaches, we take accountability in everything we do. So we know where we're at, and we know what has to get fixed, and we're going to work very hard to play a 60-minute football game this week and get after it. And until we do that, we're not going to win games. When we do that, we're going to find a way to win a game. And I'm not worried about the big picture. I'm not worried about preseason goals, that's gotten our kids' heads a bunch, and we haven't handled it very good. All right, we talked about it a long time yesterday about handling success and what we thought and how we thought that, well, we just didn't think the season would go this way. Well, okay. Well, why has it gone? It doesn't have to go this way. It's gone this way because at different times you take your foot off the gas in key situations and you get beat. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone this way. And that's the bottom line, and that's what they're starting to realize, like, yeah, we got to have a grinder's mentality and not, we did all last week. That's all we talked about, grind. We come out and we grind and we put ourselves, and then as soon as we get in a good position, we don't play as well, all right? And we've got to figure out how to make sure as players and coaches that we make sure we keep playing at the highest end. If we play at the highest end, we're going to win close games. We're not going to win games by 30 points. We're going to win close games. If we don't play at the high end, we're going to lose close games. That's the reality of it. And again, we've dug ourselves a hole, and no one's going to dig ourselves out of this hole but us. It's not easy right now. It's not easy at all right? There's not a lot of positives to say, all right? We can keep saying that we're doing a lot of good. I got you. We rushed for 190 yards. Our tailbacks, there's tons of positive, whatever. We're done with the positives. We have to get to the point where we can finish these games any way, shape, or form. And it doesn't matter OD or special teams. Somebody's got to step up and make the play when we need to make the play, and that's got to be the focus. And it's not when you have good expectations or high expectations like we did, and rightfully so, and you're sitting at 2-4 in games that you feel like you could have won all 6. It's not a good feeling, and there's no way to, spin it positively and say everything's okay. Everything's not okay. But we got a chance to play Buffalo and get to 2-2 in the league. If you get to 2-2 in the league, you're heading in the right direction. Or we got a chance to not finish things and get to 1-3. It's hard. It's hard for kids or 18 or 22-year-old kids with high expectations, and they're frustrated and they're down and they're out. And yeah, so it's not easy right now. But that's where we're at, and that's what we got to fight through.
Speaking of Buffalo, what can you tell us about them?
Really good on offense. They've been producing yardage every week. Most weeks they've been producing a lot of points to go along with their yardage. They run, they throw. They have 2 dual-threat quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks can run and throw. They have a really good running game on offense. They have many capable receivers, and they've got a good O-line. They've really pushed the ball and moved the ball against all their opponents. Defensively, they're much better. They're really playing their system. System's not much different. A year ago, just kids older, more experienced, are really locked in their system. They have some big, strong D linemen like everybody has in this league. There's good D linemen we go against every week. They got some really athletic linebackers, and they got guys that run and hit on the back end, and they got aggressive corners. So they're playing good football. I know they're probably a little bit like us. You lose a 7 overtime game, and the shoulda, woulda, couldas. And feel like, and they're having a good year, but there's a couple other wins out there that they're one play away from winning, and that's kind of everybody in our league. They're either, if you're 2-1 right now or 3-0, you've won probably 2 or 3 close games. If you're 1-2 or 0-3, you've probably lost a couple close games, and I'm sure they feel the same way, that their record's okay, but their record could even be better with a couple really, really, obviously, really, really narrow losses that they've had to deal with. So it's not, we're not the only one that's sitting there right there that they're saying, hey, if we could have closed out a couple games, we got a couple more wins. And so, but they're a very capable, very good football team.
Can you give us any update on Gus Ragland?
Yeah, he will not play again this week. He is getting better. It's going to be week to week, but he won't play or dress this week. He's still at least another week away. We'll see how he progresses.
Everybody good? Coach, thanks.